Have you ever noticed how the same people who claim to hate you can't seem to stop watching you? They act like they want nothing to do with you. Yet they check your profile every day. They pretend you don't exist. Yet they copy your words, your style, your moves. They spread rumors about you behind closed doors. Yet they secretly admire you. Why? Because you are chosen. And chosen ones carry something they can never replicate. Divine favor. You are not just being watched casually. You are being monitored. Every post, every achievement, every step forward. Someone is watching, waiting, obsessing. But why? Because the spirit inside of them recognizes the power inside of you. And that power makes them uncomfortable. The truth is, when you walk in divine purpose, your light naturally exposes darkness. Your presence alone disturbs those who operate in jealousy, manipulation, and deceit. They don't hate you because of what you've done. They hate you because of who you are becoming. The anointing on your life convicts them. The way you move with grace, confidence, and authenticity reminds them of everything they lack. They wish they could ignore you, but they can't. They wish they could silence you, but they can't. So instead, they stalk, they copy, they scheme. They gossip about you in one breath and try to imitate you in the next. Why? Because deep down, they know the truth. They can never be you. This is not just social media stalking. This is spiritual warfare. This is a battle between light and darkness, authenticity and deception, true anointing and counterfeit spirits. You are not just dealing with people. You are dealing with spirits that recognize your power and are threatened by it. And here's the most powerful truth. They are not watching you because you are weak. They are watching you because you are winning. The more they watch, the more proof you have that God's hand is on your life. Because no one watches the insignificant. No one stalks the unimportant. No one obsesses over the powerless. So take it as confirmation. If they can't stop watching, it means you are doing something right. Now, the real question is, what will you do with this awareness? Will you shrink back to make them comfortable? Or will you continue to rise, knowing that no weapon formed against you shall prosper? Because whether they like it or not, the elevation of the chosen ones is unstoppable. There's a reason why certain people are so obsessed with you. Yet they despise you at the same time. It is not just a personal issue. It is a spiritual battle. The spirit that operates through them cannot stand the anointing that is over you. This is the Jezebel spirit, a spirit of control, a spirit of manipulation, a spirit of deep-seated envy that seeks to tear down those who walk in divine purpose. Jezebel was not just a historical figure. She represents a spiritual force that moves through people even today. The Jezebel spirit works through those who crave power and influence, but lack the divine favor to receive it. Instead of submitting to God, they try to take by force what was never meant for them. Instead of developing their own gifts, they steal, copy, and mimic those who are truly anointed. The Jezebel spirit hates the chosen ones because chosen ones carry something they can never possess. Authenticity, divine authority, the favor of God. It is a spirit that despises true light, but cannot stop being drawn to it. That is why those under its influence keep watching you. They hate what you stand for, but they cannot stop stalking your profile. They want to destroy you, yet they cannot stop imitating you. In the Bible, Jezebel was known for using manipulation, deception, and seduction to control those in power. She used fear to silence the true prophets of God because their truth threatened her false authority. This same spirit works today. It moves through people who pretend to be your friends, who smile in your face but secretly wish for your downfall. It moves through copycats who watch your every move, hoping to replicate your success without doing the inner work. It moves through those who try to undermine your influence because deep down, they know they will never be chosen. This spirit does not just want to compete with you. It wants to control you. It wants to silence your voice. It wants to distort your identity. It wants to make you doubt yourself so that you shrink back and never fully step into your calling. But here is the truth. Jezebel has no real power over those who walk in obedience to God. No matter how much they stalk, scheme, or imitate, they can never take what God has given you. Do not be fooled. When people start obsessively watching you while simultaneously trying to tear you down, it is because they see your rise. They see your glow. They see your divine elevation, and it terrifies them. That is why they react the way they do. But here is what they do not realize. Their obsession with you is only proving your anointing. Their attempts to stop you are only accelerating your breakthrough. Because what God has set in motion, enemy can cancel. You do not need to fight them. You do not need to expose them. Their own actions will reveal who they are. All you need to do is stay focused, stay obedient, and keep rising. Because while they are busy watching you, God is busy preparing your next level. There's something unsettling about people who pretend they do not see you, yet mimic your every move. They watch from the shadows, studying your words, your style, your essence. They replicate your creativity, your uniqueness, and your energy, hoping to gain what you have without putting in the work. But here is the truth. They can copy everything on the surface, but they can never replicate the anointing that God placed inside of you. Copycats are not inspired by you, they are threatened by you. Inspiration leads people to develop their own gifts, to build their own path, to step into their own authenticity. But copycats do not want to grow. They do not want to evolve. They want to steal. They want to take what you have cultivated, hoping that wearing your image will bring them the same favor. But anointing cannot be transferred through imitation. It is given by God. This is why their imitation will always feel empty. They may copy your words, but they lack the wisdom behind them. They may mirror your confidence, but inside, they are full of insecurity. They may try to replicate your glow, but without the process you went through, it is nothing more than an illusion. They think copying you will make them powerful. But what they fail to realize is that power comes from transformation. Ode imitation. In the Bible, Saul envied David's favor with God. He watched David's rise, feared his influence, and tried to control him. But no matter how much Saul tried to sabotage David, he could not take what was divinely given. This is the same reality for copycats today. They can study you, imitate you, and even try to tear you down, but they will never be able to take what God has written for you. The reason why they watch so closely is because they do not understand the source of your power. They think it is something external, something they can grasp and wear like a mask. But what they do not realize is that your power was forged in solitude, in trials, in deep spiritual work. What they see now is the result of years of refinement, testing, and divine alignment. This is why you do not need to be bothered when you see people copying you. Their imitation only proves that you are leading. If they were truly confident in themselves, they would be focused on their own path. Trying to duplicate yours. They are watching because your authenticity intimidates them. They are stealing because deep down, they know they lack what you naturally carry. But here is what they do not realize. A copy will never be greater than the original. No matter how much they try, they will never have the wisdom, the anointing, or the divine favor that flows through you. Because favor is not earned by deception. It is given to those who walk in obedience to God. So let them watch, let them copy, let them study your every move. It does not change the fact that you are chosen, and they are not. Keep walking in your divine assignment, knowing that no matter how much they imitate, they can never replace you. This is not just jealousy. This is not just imitation. This is spiritual warfare, a battle that is happening behind the scenes, in places you cannot see, but you can feel. The chosen ones are not just being observed, they are being targeted. The ones who envy you, stalk you, and copy you are not just acting out of human emotions. There is something deeper at work. The enemy operates in secrecy. He does not announce his attacks. He sends distractions, delays, and deceptions disguised as opportunities and friendships. The people who smile in your face but gossip about you the moment you turn away. The ones who pretend to support you but secretly hope you fail. The ones who copy everything you do but resent the fact that they will never truly be you. This is not a coincidence. This is a silent war. They will never confront you directly because darkness cannot stand in the presence of light. Instead, they work in whispers, manipulation, and subtle sabotage. They monitor your progress from fake accounts. They try to cast doubt on your path through small, passive-aggressive comments. They mimic your every move, to honor you, but to compete with you. They pretend to be indifferent, yet they know more about your life than your closest friends. The Jezebel spirit and copycats work together. Jezebel seeks control. Copycats seek to steal. Both are fueled by the same root, envy and insecurity. They want your power but do not want your process. They want your blessings but refuse to walk in obedience. So instead, they try to take shortcuts, watching from the shadows, hoping to extract your essence without ever doing the inner work. But here is what they fail to understand. What is built in deception will crumble. What is stolen will never last. And what is divinely given can never be taken away. This is why their attacks have no real power. They may talk about you, but they cannot stop you. They may try to copy you, but they will never outshine you. They may plot against you, but God has already gone before you. You do not need to fight them. You do not need to expose them. Their own obsession with you will be their downfall. Every time they watch you, they are reminded of what they lack. Every time they try to steal from you, they only expose their own emptiness. Every time they scheme against you, they only accelerate your rise. This is why you must stay focused. Do not give your energy to those operating in shadows. Do not let their envy pull you into their game. You were not sent here to battle with those beneath your calling. You were sent here to rise, and as you rise, they will fall, not because you wished harm upon them, but because they chose to align themselves with deception instead of truth. Keep moving forward, knowing that no matter what happens behind your back, God is always ahead of you, clearing your path. They say they don't care. They say you are not special. They pretend not to notice your success, your growth, your divine favor. Yet, they can't stop watching. Every post you make, every move you take, every achievement you unlock, they see it, even if they never like, comment, or acknowledge you. They are watching. Why? Because your light exposes their darkness. The chosen ones were never meant to blend in. You were sent to stand out, to shine, to be a beacon of truth in a world full of deception. And when light enters a dark place, everything hidden begins to be revealed. This is why they can't look away. Your very existence confronts them with the truth they have been running from. Your confidence reminds them of their own insecurities. Your authenticity highlights their fakeness. Your obedience to God convicts them of their rebellion. They are drawn to you because your presence carries something they lack: divine favor, spiritual power, and an unshakable sense of purpose. They want what you have, but they do not want to do what you did to get it. They want the blessings but not the obedience. They want the anointing but not the discipline. So instead of seeking their own path, they watch yours. Instead of developing their own gifts, they study yours. Instead of healing their wounds, they project their pain onto you. Some of them secretly admire you. They wish they had your courage, your wisdom, your strength, but their pride will not allow them to admit it. So they stalk from the shadows, hoping to pick up pieces of your energy without ever acknowledging your greatness. Others resent you. Your success makes them feel like failures. Your peace irritates their chaos. Your spiritual elevation makes them feel small. Not because you are doing anything to harm them, but because your presence reminds them of what they could have been if they had chosen differently. But here is what they fail to understand. Watching you will not help them. Copying you will not save them. Envying you will not elevate them. Because what you have is not something that can be stolen or replicated. It is something that was given to you by God. And here is the most powerful part. The more they watch, the more they reveal their own hearts. Those who watch in admiration will eventually have to make a choice: to continue living in the shadows or to step into their own light. Those who watch in envy will soon self-destruct, because bitterness always poisons the one who carries it. And you don't have to do anything but keep shining. Because while they are watching, God is elevating you. While they are plotting, God is protecting you. While they are waiting for your downfall, God is preparing your next breakthrough. So let them watch. Let them stalk. Let them obsess. Because no matter how closely they watch, they will never be able to dim the light that God has placed within you. Now that you know why they watch, why they imitate, why they envy, the question is, how do you handle it? How do you respond when you know there are eyes on you? Some admiring, some despising, and some desperately trying to pull you down? The answer is simple. You don't. You do not chase shadows. You do not waste energy on distractions. You do not engage in battles that God has already won for you. You stay focused on your path. One of the biggest tactics of the enemy is distraction. If he can't stop you, he will try to delay you. If he can't destroy you, he will try to drain you. And one of the easiest ways to get drained is by paying attention to people who are beneath your assignment. Remember, everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone should be entertained with a response. When you react to negativity, when you defend yourself against lies, when you try to prove your worth to people who will never see it, you are giving away your power. Chosen ones do not explain, they elevate. Your energy is sacred. Your time is valuable. Your purpose is divine. You cannot afford to get caught up in unnecessary battles. When they gossip, let them. When they copy, let them. When they watch, keep giving them something to see. Stay in your lane. Keep building. Keep creating. Keep growing. The more you focus on your path, the more unstoppable you become. Your progress will be your response. Your success will be your answer. Your elevation will be their greatest lesson. And most importantly, keep your spirit pure. Do not allow resentment to take root in your heart. Do not let their envy turn into your bitterness. Do not let their hate poison your peace. Forgive them, bless them, and move forward. Because while they are focused on you, you are focused on God. And as long as God is leading your path, there is nothing, oh copycat, oh Jezebel spirit, oh hidden enemy, that can stop you. At the end of the day, one of this is about them, not the watchers, oh the copycats, oh the ones trying to pull you down. This journey has always been about you and God. The distractions, the envy, the silent battles, they are just noise. And you are called to something greater. You were not chosen to stay small. You were not anointed to waste time proving yourself to people who were never meant to understand your path. You were not sent here to battle with those who operate in darkness. You were sent here to rise, to lead, to step fully into your divine purpose. Keep walking, keep shining, keep elevating, because nothing they do can change what God has already ordained for you. Your blessings cannot be stolen. Your destiny cannot be copied. Your anointing cannot be imitated. What God has placed in you is uniquely yours, and no one can take it away. So let them watch. Let them stalk. Let them talk. None of it matters. Because while they are busy watching you, God is busy blessing you while they are studying your every move. God is preparing your next breakthrough while they are hoping for your downfall. God is setting the stage for your elevation. This is your season. This is your calling. Keep walking in it. No distractions, no delays, no doubts, just faith, obedience, and unstoppable momentum. And if this message resonates with you, if you know deep in your spirit that you are one of the chosen ones, drop a comment below and type "I am chosen." Let the enemy know that you are aware, you are aligned, and you are unstoppable. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And keep moving forward, because the chosen ones, we do not look back. We rise, we walk, we step into everything that God has prepared for us. Let me speak to the soul in you that's been wounded in silence. Let me speak to the heart that's been overlooked, misunderstood, and underestimated. You've been through more than most people even know. The tears you cried weren't just from pain, they were prayers. They were spiritual warfare. They were offerings. Because you, chosen one, have always carried something sacred inside you. Something the world tried to silence before it ever had the chance to fully bloom. They tried to break you, not because you were weak, but because they saw your strength, because they sensed your light. Even before you realized how brightly you could shine, you confused them. You didn't fit their mold. You didn't bend to their control. So they did what people do when they don't understand the anointing. You became a target. They mocked your journey, ridiculed your dreams, and tried to bury your identity under lies, manipulation, and betrayal. But what they didn't see was the hand of God on your life. What they never counted on was the divine protection surrounding your purpose. They thought the fire would consume you, but God used it to refine you. They thought isolation would break you, but it deepened your connection with Him. They thought rejection would crush you, but it redirected you into His perfect will. What they meant for evil, God has already started turning for your good, and not just for your good, for your glory. The kind of glory that doesn't come from man but from the throne of heaven. People see the surface, but God saw the seed, and while they were busy trying to dig your grave, God was digging your roots deeper into purpose. You survived storms that should have taken you out. You endured warfare that would have broken anyone else, but you're still here. You didn't fold. You didn't turn back. You may have crawled, cried, and questioned, but you never quit. And because of that, heaven is about to reward you publicly for what you endured privately. Listen closely. This is not the end of your story. This is the part where everything shifts, where the tables turn, where the stone that the builders rejected becomes the cornerstone. What they tried to destroy, God preserved, and not just preserved, but prepared for impact, for influence, for divine elevation. You were chosen for this, handpicked for this, forged in fire and filled with purpose. So don't you dare shrink back now. Don't you dare question your worth. You didn't survive all of that to live a small life. You didn't walk through all of that pain just to settle for less than the promise. God is about to flip the script. The same ones who dismissed you will watch you be crowned. The same ones who mocked you will witness your miracle. Because this next season of your life is proof that no weapon formed against you could prosper. This is your confirmation. This is your reminder. This is your divine wake-up call. Comment "I receive this" if you feel this in your spirit. Because this message isn't for the crowd, it's for the remnant. For the one who knows in their bones, I was never meant to break. I was meant to rise. Let's be clear about something. The attacks on your life were never random. The pain, the betrayal, the rejection, the confusion, it didn't just happen. It was strategic. It was spiritual. The enemy saw your calling long before you understood it. Hell recognized your name before heaven ever revealed your assignment to you. That's why you couldn't have a normal life. That's why you were attacked in childhood, targeted in your relationships, and surrounded by people who tried to clip your wings before you even learned how to fly. You were marked, not for destruction, but for destiny, and that mark made you a threat to every force of darkness that ever tried to control your bloodline. You ever wonder why your struggles felt so personal? Why the warfare came so early and so heavy? It's because the enemy didn't want you to wake up. He didn't want you to discover the power within you. He wanted you to believe you were broken, that you were unworthy, that you were forgotten. Because if he could plant those lies deep enough, you might never rise into who you were born to become. But what he didn't count on was your resilience. You were built differently, molded in fire, covered in grace, even when you didn't know how to pray. Heaven was interceding for you, even when you didn't know who you were. God was still orchestrating every step. The attacks weren't a sign that you were cursed, they were confirmation that you are chosen. You've always had a light that made dark spirits tremble. And that's why people were drawn to you but couldn't handle you. That's why you were betrayed by the ones you loved the most. That's why people copied you, yet rejected you, because your authenticity exposed their pretending. Your presence disrupted their comfort zones. Your calling challenged every lie they built their identity on. But let this truth settle into your spirit. If the attack was this intense, the anointing must be even greater. The more you were attacked, the more heaven was preparing you. The deeper the pain, the higher the purpose, the greater the pressure, the more valuable the vessel. So don't look at the attacks as setbacks. See them as setups, divine training grounds. Every tear watered your future. Every scar is a testimony, and every battle you survived is proof that there's something in you hell couldn't kill. They tried to silence you, but now your voice will be heard. They tried to bury you, but didn't know you were a seed. They tried to curse you, but God already blessed you. And now, it's your time. You're not just surviving, you're about to thrive. Not by your strength, but by His Spirit. The enemy tried to write your ending, but heaven's not done with your story. Keep walking, keep rising. The attack was real, but so is your victory. You remember that moment when you almost gave up? When the pressure was so heavy it felt like it would crush you. When the betrayal cut so deep you wondered if you'd ever trust again. When the nights were filled with tears, and the days were filled with silence. That wasn't just a breaking point. That was the turning point. Because right when it looked like it was over, God stepped in. And when He steps in, everything changes. You didn't see it at first. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. God doesn't always part the sea with thunder. Sometimes He just begins to shift the atmosphere quietly. He moves in silence but leaves evidence. Things you didn't even pray for started aligning. The people who left you were replaced with divine connections. The doors that closed in your face redirected you to ones you were born to walk through. There was a shift, and you could feel it in your spirit before you saw it with your eyes. God began to show you why the heartbreak happened, why the storm had to hit, why the foundation had to be shaken. Because He was clearing the room for His glory. He was separating the fake from the faithful. He was purging the distractions and preparing you for the promise. And while the enemy thought you were buried, heaven knew you were being planted. That's when your discernment began to increase. That's when your dreams started speaking louder. That's when peace became your weapon and worship became your warfare. You weren't crazy, you were awakening. God stepped in and reminded you who you are. Not broken, not lost, not forgotten, but chosen, covered, called, anointed, equipped. Isaiah 43:2 says, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you go through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned." That was not just a promise for ancient times. That was your story. You've walked through fire and came out without the smell of smoke. Why? Because God was in the fire with you. He stepped into your situation and flipped it in your favor. He took what the enemy meant for evil and is turning it for good. He's using your pain to push you into purpose. The shift has already begun. You're not who you used to be. You've outgrown the old patterns, the old people, the old fears. You are walking in a new level of power, clarity, and authority, and this is just the beginning. Because when God steps in, He never leaves you the same. There comes a moment in every chosen one's life when the dust settles. The storm passes, and you realize you didn't just survive, you've been transformed. Everything they did to break you, to silence you, to strip you of your confidence and identity, is now being used as fuel for your elevation. You are not who you were before the pain. And that's the point. They saw your downfall as the end, but God saw it as the beginning. They saw weakness, but God saw surrender. They saw brokenness, but God saw the perfect opportunity to rebuild you stronger, deeper, and more connected to Him than ever before. What they meant for evil, God turned for good. That isn't just a verse. That's your story. That's your testimony. And it's unfolding right now, whether you feel it or not. Because God wastes nothing. Not one tear, one sleepless night, one betrayal. Every piece of your suffering is being recycled into purpose. Every attack was secretly building spiritual muscles you didn't even know you had. And now that foundation, it's becoming unshakable. You've been tried by fire, and fire never destroys gold. It purifies it. You've been through the wilderness, but wilderness doesn't mean punishment. It means preparation. Jesus was led into the wilderness before His ministry began. Joseph was betrayed and thrown into a pit before he was promoted to the palace. David was hiding in caves before he ever wore a crown. So why would it be any different for you? The delay wasn't denial, it was development. The rejection wasn't failure, it was redirection. And the heartbreak? It was heaven's way of removing attachments that couldn't go where you're headed. This is why you didn't fit in. Why doors shut. Why people turned cold. Because God was separating you, sanctifying you, setting you apart. You were being positioned for a level of glory that only comes through suffering. You were being carved into a vessel that could carry the weight of divine authority, not just for yourself, but for others too. Because the glory on your life isn't just about you. It's about who's watching you. It's about those who'll see how far God brought you. It's about those who said you wouldn't make it and now have to witness God's favor falling all over your life. It's about those who are secretly drawing hope from your story. This is why the enemy fought you so hard. Because you are the evidence. The evidence that God still heals. The evidence that God restores. The evidence that no plan of the enemy can cancel the promise God placed on your life. They thought they were silencing you, but heaven was just turning up the volume. They thought they were burying you, but they didn't know you were a seed. And now, God is raising you up in plain sight. He's preparing a table right in front of your enemies, and they will have no choice but to watch you eat. Watch you rise, watch you glow, watch you thrive in the very area they tried to destroy you in. This is your glory season, not because everything is easy, but because now you walk in divine confidence. Now you speak with spiritual authority. Now you pray with unshakable faith. The old version of you was powerful, but this version, refined by fire, tested through pain, and covered in glory, unstoppable. This is your reward for not giving up, for praising through the pain, for worshiping when you had nothing left, for trusting when everything around you was shaking. And now, heaven is responding. Doors are opening, chains are breaking, favor is flowing, and your name is being spoken in rooms you've never even entered. This is what it looks like when God turns the pain into power. This is what it means when He uses all things for your good. This is glory, And this is only the beginning. Chosen one, hear this loud and clear. There's a move of God happening right now, not in the distant future. Oh, next year. Oh, when everything is perfect, right now. And the greatest tragedy would be to survive all you've survived. Carry all you've carried, and then miss the moment you were born for. This isn't the time to fall back into fear. This isn't the time to slip into comfort, complacency, or distraction. The enemy's last resort is distraction. If he can't destroy you, he'll delay you. If he can't take your purpose, he'll try to blind you to it. He'll try to lure you back into old habits, old relationships, old mindsets, because he knows what's coming next if you stay aligned with God. You've already come too far to turn back now. You've cried too many tears to go back to what broke you. You've grown too much in silence to shrink yourself for people who never saw your value in the first place. This is your moment of decision. Because God is moving, He's shifting, He's elevating, but He won't force you to go higher. He'll only invite you. Don't miss the invitation. Some people think they have more time, but the truth is, there's an open window in the Spirit right now. A divine opening. A door that God has unlocked specifically for you, but it won't stay open forever. And if you don't walk through it, someone else will. This is the season where obedience matters more than comfort, where discernment matters more than opinions, where surrender matters more than strategy. You don't need another sign. You don't need more confirmation. God has already shown you what to do, who you are, and what you carry. The only question is, will you step into it? Because delaying obedience is still disobedience, and disobedience in this season can cost you your promise. The move of God is bigger than a feeling. It's bigger than a vibe. It's a divine alignment that changes the trajectory of everything connected to you. And when God starts moving in your life, you have two choices: move with Him or miss it. Don't miss it. Don't let fear win. Don't let comparison steal your momentum. Don't let doubt shut down your voice. Don't let the enemy convince you that you're not ready. OT worthy, OT called, because if you weren't a threat, you wouldn't be under attack. This is the final stretch, the final test, the final push. God is asking, will you trust me now? Will you obey me now? Will you step out when nothing makes sense and just believe that I'm still with you, chosen one? This is not the time to fall asleep. This is the time to rise. Chosen one, now is the time. Not tomorrow, not when things feel easier. Right now, in the middle of the uncertainty, in the middle of the pressure, in the middle of everything trying to distract you, this is where your divine comeback begins. This isn't just about recovery. It's about resurrection. Everything the enemy tried to kill in you, your faith, your voice, your purpose, your passion, God is breathing life into it again. You thought it was over, but heaven says it's just beginning. You were not buried. You were planted. And now it's time to rise. But this comeback doesn't happen by accident. It happens by decision. You must choose to believe what God said about you over what the world tried to label you. You must choose to walk in purpose even when the path is unfamiliar. You must choose to speak even when fear tells you to stay quiet. Your comeback is not about proving anything to people. It's about aligning with God's original blueprint for your life. It's about stepping into the version of you that's always been hidden beneath the pain, the trauma, and the lies. This is the moment where you stop shrinking to fit old rooms, where you stop apologizing for your light, where you stop delaying the assignment God put on your life just to make others comfortable. You were born for this, and the same God who kept you through the tears, the betrayal, the warfare, the silence, He is now lifting you up in front of those who thought you were finished. But it takes movement. Faith without action is dead, and glory without obedience is delayed. You've got to step forward, even if you're afraid, even if you feel unqualified, even if it doesn't make sense yet. Because your next breakthrough isn't waiting for perfect conditions. It's waiting for your obedience. This is your comeback season. So get back to the mission. Get back in alignment. Speak like you've already won. Walk like you know who you are. Pray like heaven is backing every word. Because it is. You're not who they said you were. You're not broken. You're being rebuilt. And every scar is a prophecy of victory. Let the world see what God does with someone who refuses to quit. Let your life be the proof that what tried to destroy you only built your throne. Your comeback is already written. Now walk in it. Chosen one, you've come a long way. Every battle, every hardship, every trial, God used it all for your glory. What they meant for evil, God has turned it into fuel for your fire. Every moment of rejection, every word that tried to break you, every attack that came against your mind, body, and spirit, God allowed it to refine you, to strengthen you, and to prepare you for this moment. You are not who you once were. You are not the same person who struggled to understand why things happened the way they did. No, you are a warrior who has emerged from the fire as pure gold. You are a testimony to the power of God's grace, mercy, and favor. What others saw as your downfall, God saw as your elevation. The world tried to make you small, to make you doubt your purpose. But God was always right there, in the middle of the storm, saying, I'm making you stronger. I'm molding you for something greater. And now, you stand at the threshold of something extraordinary. You're not just surviving, you are thriving. You are walking into your destiny. A destiny that was written long before you even knew who you were. The glory that's coming to your life, the doors opening, the favor pouring in, the anointing increasing, it was all part of the plan. The pain was never permanent. It was just preparation for the purpose that's now unfolding before you. As you step into this new chapter, remember, God has already secured your victory. You're walking in power, walking in promise, walking in the anointing that the enemy could never take away from you. You are marked by God, and everything He has planned for you will come to pass. Nothing can stop it. So, don't look back at the storms. Don't look back at the moments when you thought you couldn't make it. Look ahead at the throne He's calling you to. Look ahead at the people you're called to inspire, to lead, and to serve. You are the chosen one, and God is getting ready to show the world just how glorious His work is in you. This is your season of restoration, your season of elevation, your season of manifestation. Now walk boldly in your calling. You are a reflection of God's glory, and His glory is unstoppable. Everything they did to try and break you only made you stronger. And now, you stand as living proof that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. You are God's chosen one, and nothing can stop you. Chosen one, I want you to hear this. The victory is already yours. You've walked through the storm, and you've come out victorious. The battle was never yours to fight alone. God has been with you every step of the way, and now He's leading you into a new season of divine favor, purpose, and glory. You may have faced moments of doubt, struggle, and even heartache, but know that each moment was a setup for your comeback. What they intended for your harm, God has already turned it for your good. The struggles you've endured have been the very things that shaped you into the mighty warrior you are today. You are more than a conqueror. You are an overcomer, and this is just the beginning. Now it's time to walk in your purpose, to claim your inheritance, and to step boldly into the destiny that has been ordained for you. Every setback was just a divine setup for the incredible things that are ahead. Your future is bright, and God's favor is upon you in ways that will leave others amazed. As you move forward, remember this truth. You are unstoppable. No force, person, obstacle can stand against the power and purpose that God has placed inside of you. So don't shrink back. Don't hold yourself back from stepping into the fullness of what God has for you. The time is now. You are a living testimony of God's grace, strength, and faithfulness, and the world is about to witness His glory shining through your life in ways you could never have imagined. The best is yet to come, and you are walking into it right now. For centuries, April 1st has been known as April Fool's Day, a time when people play pranks, spread falsehoods, and make others look foolish. But what if I told you that this entire concept is a distraction from something much deeper? What if April 1st was never meant to be a day of foolishness, but instead a day of hidden wisdom, a day of revelation, a day when secrets were concealed in plain sight? Think about it. The greatest deceptions in history are often hidden under laughter, mockery, and entertainment. The world has turned this day into a joke. But why? What is it that they don't want you to see? Why has this specific day been marked as a time for deception? Who benefits from keeping you distracted on this day? Spiritual seekers, ancient mystics, and those who truly understand the patterns of divine timing have always recognized that certain dates carry deep spiritual significance. Many believe that April 1st is one of those days, a moment in time when the veil between the physical and spiritual realms is thinner, when truths long buried have the potential to surface, and when those who are truly awake can receive powerful revelations. But here's the catch: not everyone is meant to see it. Only those with spiritual discernment will recognize what is unfolding. The rest will be too busy laughing, too distracted by meaningless pranks, too caught up in the world's games to realize that something profound is taking place. This message is not for everyone. It is for the chosen ones. It is for those who feel that unshakable pull in their spirit. Those who have always known deep down that they were meant for something greater. Those who understand that nothing in this world is as it seems. So the question is, are you ready to uncover the truth that was hidden from you? Are you ready to see beyond the illusion? Because once you do, there's no going back. The secret of April 1st is about to be revealed, and those who are awake will never look at this day the same way again. For generations, the truth about April 1st has been hidden in plain sight. We have been told it is a day of foolishness, a time for deception, a moment for jokes and tricks. But why? Why would an entire day be dedicated to misleading others? Could it be that the deception itself is a cover-up for something much deeper? Could it be that what was once a day of revelation has been twisted into a day of distraction? Ancient texts, spiritual prophecies, and hidden knowledge all point to specific moments in time when the veil between worlds becomes thinner, when divine messages are more easily received, and when chosen ones are called to step into higher awareness. Many believe that April 1st is one of those days, a day when truth is meant to be revealed to those who are ready to receive it. A day when the spiritually awakened can access hidden wisdom, while the rest of the world remains caught in illusion. The deception of April 1st began long ago, orchestrated by forces that thrive on ignorance. They understood that if people knew the true power of this day, they would awaken. They would begin to see the world for what it really is. They would start to break free from the control systems that have kept them blind for so long. So instead of allowing this day to be one of revelation, it was turned into a joke, and the whole world fell for it. But now, the hidden prophecy is being revealed. The chosen ones are waking up. You are waking up, and as you do, you begin to see that everything around you has been carefully designed to keep you unaware of your true power. The distractions, the noise, the fear-based programming, it was all created to prevent you from stepping into your divine calling. The truth is, April 1st marks a shift. It is a time when those who are spiritually attuned can receive messages directly from the divine. It is a time when the universe is calling you to pay attention, to look beyond the surface, to recognize the signs that are being given to you. But here's the challenge: most people will miss it. Most people will remain trapped in the false narratives. believing that this day is nothing more than a time for pranks and jokes. They will laugh at what they do not understand. They will mock what they should be seeking. And in doing so, they will stay asleep while the chosen ones rise. You were not meant to stay in the dark. You were not meant to live under illusion. You are being called to see beyond the deception and step into the truth that has been waiting for you all along. So now the question is, will you awaken? Or will you fall back into the dream? The prophecy is unfolding, and those who are ready will see it. Are you one of them? From the moment you were born, the world has worked overtime to keep you distracted, misled, and blind to the truth. The systems in place, media, entertainment, politics, and even aspects of religion are all carefully designed to keep your mind occupied with meaningless noise so that you never stop and question the deeper reality of your existence. Nowhere is this more obvious than April 1st. Think about it. Why is an entire day dedicated to deception? Why is there a globally recognized event that encourages people to spread falsehoods and laugh at those who believe them? This is not a coincidence. This is a tactic. The real joke is not the pranks, it's the fact that most people have no idea what they are actually laughing at. This is how the enemy works. They hide the truth in plain sight, but cover it with mockery, making sure that those who seek it are ridiculed. They have convinced the world that April 1st is a time for foolishness, when in reality, it is a day of revelation. The distractions are intentional, designed to ensure that you stay caught up in entertainment, superficial concerns, and endless cycles of fear and desire. They want you to chase after wealth, but never question who really controls the economy. They want you to consume entertainment, but never recognize the messages being programmed into your mind. They want you to follow trends, but never stop to ask where those trends are leading you. They want you to believe April 1st is a joke, but never realize that something spiritually significant is happening beneath the surface. The greatest deception of all is making people believe that there is nothing to wake up from. And that's exactly why they work so hard to keep you asleep. If you knew the truth, if you truly understood your own power, your own divine connection, your own ability to break free, you would become unstoppable. You would step into the fullness of who you were meant to be. And that terrifies them, so they flood your mind with distractions. They manipulate history, twist spiritual truths, and convince you that anyone who questions the narrative is crazy, delusional, or lost. They make truth seekers the object of ridicule because they know that if too many people start asking questions, the entire illusion will crumble. But here's the good news, it's already starting to crumble. People are waking up. You are waking up. The distractions are losing their power over you. The lies no longer hold the same weight they once did. And as you begin to see clearly, the truth that was hidden from you will finally start to make sense. So now you must ask yourself, are you still falling for the distractions? Or are you ready to see beyond them? Because once you recognize the illusion for what it is, you can never be deceived the same way again. This is not just another moment in time. This is an activation. If you are hearing this message, it is not by accident. Something inside you is already stirring, already awakening. You are being called. The distractions, the deception, the false narratives, they are all breaking down, and you are beginning to see through them. That is the first step. But now, something much greater is happening. You are being activated. Chosen ones are not like everyone else. You have always felt different. You have always known, deep down, that you were meant for something greater. But the world did everything it could to make you doubt that truth. It tried to convince you that you were crazy, that your intuition was wrong, that your calling was just your imagination. But now, in this moment, you are starting to remember. The activation means that you can no longer ignore the signs, the dreams, the synchronicities, the messages that seem to come from nowhere. These are not coincidences. This is divine confirmation. You are being pulled into your purpose. And that means it is time to step forward with clarity and confidence. For years, you may have struggled. You were tested, broken, and isolated. You went through pain that others would never understand. But that suffering was not for nothing. It was preparing you. The fire you walked through was refining you, stripping away the illusions, making you stronger. And now, you are stepping into the version of yourself that was always meant to emerge. But with activation comes responsibility. Now that you know the truth, what will you do with it? This is where many people hesitate. The moment you fully embrace your power, the world will resist. The forces that worked so hard to keep you asleep will try to pull you back. The distractions will become louder. The attacks will increase. People around you may suddenly turn against you. Why? Because when you activate, you become a threat. You are no longer playing by the old rules. You are no longer moving in fear, doubt, or confusion. You are no longer controlled by the systems designed to keep you small. And when a chosen one steps into their true identity, it sends shockwaves through the spiritual realm. But here's the truth: they can no longer stop you. The time for fear is over. You are not here to blend in. You are not here to shrink back. You are here to lead, to awaken others, to walk in divine authority. This activation is your signal. It is time to step fully into your power, to embrace your calling without hesitation. The distractions, the illusions, the fear, they no longer have control over you. You are awake now. You are chosen. And the time to rise is now. This is your wake-up call. Do not ignore it. This moment is not just another coincidence. It is not just another message you can scroll past and forget. It is a divine alarm sounding in your spirit, calling you to attention. The worst thing a chosen one can do is fall back asleep. You have come too far, endured too much, and fought through too many battles to turn back now. Yet, this is exactly what the enemy wants. If they cannot stop your activation, they will try to delay it. If they cannot keep you blind, they will try to keep you distracted. If they cannot prevent you from knowing the truth, they will try to convince you that it does not matter. This is the real danger. Many are called, but few answer. How many people get the signs, hear the message, feel the awakening, yet do nothing with it? They convince themselves they have more time. They allow fear to paralyze them. They wait for another confirmation, another sign, another reassurance before they step into their purpose. And in that hesitation, they lose momentum. This is not the time to hesitate. This is not the time to second-guess yourself. This is the time to move. If you ignore this wake-up call, you risk losing the very thing you have been waiting for. Doors that are opening right now will not stay open forever. Opportunities that are appearing in front of you can disappear in an instant. The divine protection, guidance, and favor that are surrounding you in this moment require your obedience. You must step forward boldly, without fear, without doubt, because here is the truth: not everyone is going to make it. There are those who will reject the call. There are those who will choose comfort over purpose, who will hold on to the familiar even when it is destroying them. There are those who will allow fear to rule them, who will go back to their old ways, who will drown in the distractions of this world. Do not let that be you. The forces that have been working against you for years are desperate right now. They see that you are waking up, and they know they are running out of time. That is why they will try to pull you back into cycles of doubt, discouragement, and fear. They will use people, situations, and even your own thoughts to make you question everything. But here is what you must remember. If you were not powerful, they would not be fighting so hard to stop you. If you were not a threat, they would leave you alone. The fact that you are under attack, the fact that you feel the resistance, the fact that things seem to be shifting around you, this is your confirmation. You are on the right path. So what will you do? Will you answer the call, or will you let it pass you by? Will you step forward in faith, or will you retreat in fear? This is the moment of decision. Do not ignore it. This is it, the moment of decision. You have been called, chosen, and prepared for this exact time. Everything you have been through, every struggle, every trial, every moment of isolation was shaping you, molding you, refining you into the person you are meant to be. But now, the time for waiting is over. The time for doubting is over. The time for questioning is over. This is your call to action. Step into your divine purpose. God did not call you to be average. He did not anoint you to blend in. You were never meant to follow the crowd, to live a life of fear, to remain in the shadows. You are chosen. You are set apart. You are meant to lead. But leadership requires action. It requires faith. It requires courage. No more delays. No more excuses. No more distractions. You already know what is inside you. You already feel the fire burning in your spirit. You know you are different. You have always felt it. But now, you must embrace it. It is time to walk boldly in your calling and stop apologizing for the anointing on your life. What does stepping into your divine purpose look like? It means finally using your gifts without fear. It means refusing to play small just to make others comfortable. It means cutting ties with anything and anyone who keeps you stuck in old patterns. It means walking in obedience, even when it feels uncertain. It means standing in your power. God is calling you to rise, to take your rightful place, to operate in the fullness of your spiritual authority. You are not weak. You are not helpless. You are not forgotten. You are powerful beyond measure, and the moment you embrace that truth, everything will begin to shift. But here is the key: you must take the first step. God will open the doors, but you must walk through them. God will give you the vision, but you must act on it. God will provide the resources, but you must be willing to move. Faith without action is dead. Right now, you have a choice. You can let fear win. Let doubt keep you stagnant. Let the enemy convince you to stay silent. Or you can rise. You can declare, right here, right now, that you are stepping fully into your calling. This is your moment. No more waiting. No more hesitation. No more looking back. The time is now. Answer the call. Step into your purpose. Walk in your destiny. This is not just another moment in time. This is prophecy being fulfilled right before your eyes. What was once hidden is now being revealed. What was once delayed is now accelerating. The shift has begun. And whether the world is ready or not, God's chosen ones are rising. You were never meant to live in confusion, doubt, or fear. Every struggle, every battle, every dark season was preparing you for this moment. The prophecy is unfolding, and you are part of it. Look around you. Do you feel it? The energy is shifting. The deception is crumbling. The truth is breaking through. Those who have spent their lives trying to suppress the chosen ones are now watching in terror as we awaken. They cannot stop what God has already set in motion. And now, it is your turn. This is not the time to shrink back. It is the time to step forward. This is not the time to wait for permission. You have already been chosen. The old world is passing away, and a new era is being birthed. The question is, will you step into your place? Many will ignore this call. Many will hear and do nothing. But not you. You did not come this far just to turn back now. You are chosen. You are anointed. You are called for such a time as this. Now is the time to rise, walk boldly, and fulfill the destiny written over your life. The prophecy is unfolding. The only question left is, will you be part of it?